Ahmed, I'm gonna give you a hand.
Yeah, I'm not respect this person.
Adventure starts with a hybrid Lumina. But where does adventure start? That depends on you. To meet the CRV tooling hybrid, you start now.
Yeah, Jimmy. Boys come on.
Let's take part.
No, this one's it's trouble. Let's take it to
Very safe, yeah.
Charlie.
daughters behind. Anytime soon. Football trouble. Yeah.
But it's not just a double. You're there. Peace and happiness. Listen, you know, listen. Hello. So good. Why is it? No. Keep going. How do you get a business? Brain cell Francis. Why don't you take it out? Thank you, sir. Ready? Follow it up. Stop. One more. Got it.
Fuck! Chase me for a second. Bullshit. I wonder too.
At Starbucks, whatever your summer looks like, that's enough. Enjoy velvety and rich coffee that's handcrafted every time. Iced for whatever the season brings. This counts as summer at Starbucks.
ESPN offers free and confidential self-guided online therapy options for public safety personnel, their spouses, or significant others. You begin by completing a brief questionnaire. Our staff review the responses, and if the course is a good fit, you are enrolled within 2 days. Content includes real-world examples and practical activities that can apply right away. Whether you're new to mental health or refreshing skills, ESPN offers a practical option for improving your mental health. Elementary specs that do their first little display right on the site.
To build it like that, their marquee covers in one code, so you can eat it like Paul, split like Rachel, and have more time to watch it like the Wesleys. Welcome back. As we get into summer, according to the temperature outside, summer's upon us. We get into the discussion of which teams whether it's sold or it's closing. Is it open? Is it closed? Is it open? Closed. Open? Open. Is it open? Is it closed? But each Stanley Cup windows to the big team. And so I'm like, you know what, I'll take all 32 teams and we'll have this discussion and I'll give you my honest opinion on which teams I feel like the window's still open. The window's opening. It's closing. Closed. The team's just stuck in neutral. They don't seem to have access to the window at this point. It's building towards contention. So not at the point where you can say the window's opening. But they're getting closer to the window. It's open. And then rebuilding, uncertain as of now, and over here first. If I had Danhausen Magnet, it'd be right there. And if you don't know who Danhausen is, well, I will say he has had himself out in NHL circles, in NBA circles, doing a good job marketing himself. So, first, rebuilding, you guys get it? Alright, we're all clear on what this is? Alright. So I got all the logos, and I picked them in mostly random order, but I'm starting with Winnipeg, because I'm always called down to Winnipeg. Think of what happened to all this one thing to this. It feels like they had a Stanley Cup window that was open last year. This year they missed the playoffs. They have a lack of depth in terms of scoring. A lot of question marks. I would say the Stanley Cup window for Winnipeg is closed. And it's going to be pending whatever happens this summer. But I would say closed for Winnipeg when it comes to the Stanley Cup window. For San Jose, the Golden Sports contention. I mean, they're obviously not as far as it's open because they didn't make the playoffs this year. So it's hard to argue, well, the Stanley Cup window's open and 13 doesn't make the playoffs yet. But I will say, I do like what San Jose's been doing over the last couple of years. I think that build is there and celebrating the superstar player. Detroit's stuck in neutral. For Detroit this year after year now, it feels like they're close to playoffs. You look at where they were in the standings in January and then where they ended up by the end of the season. To me, Detroit's just stuck in neutral, and we'll see if they can make their way out. And of course, as a sport like this, I could not gone through and plan this out in advance. I have no idea if all the ones are going to fit. We're going to have one category where because are stuck next to each other. Vegas, the window's open. That will not change no matter what happens with the Stanley Cup final that's ongoing. That's why I'm doing this today, because the window's still open. You're going to take the window for Vegas will remain open because this team does not accept losing. They just don't. Maybe you can change behind the bench right on the verge of the playoffs when you're near the top or at the top of your division. So gutsy move that's worked out for them, and because they make those gutsy moves, for me, Vegas, that window remains open. Calgary, rebuilding. I'm certain as of now. I do like what they've been doing, and I've said many times over, John Craig Conroy is doing very, very good, very transparent with the players, and seems to have a good relationship with those players as well. So I like what Calgary's doing, but I can't very well say they're building towards contention until we see what they're going to get out of this rebuild. Carolina, obviously, their door's still open. Win or lose, whatever happens in the Stanley Cup Finals, right? Carolina Hurricanes, definitely contenders. It's nice to see them get past the conference final. And now, that window's definitely open for them. The Islanders, I feel like the Islanders are stuck in this film. I feel like with the New York Islanders, they're a team that, the Toronto job, what was the LA job, the Edmonton job, probably would have gone, maybe would have gone. I don't know. It's hard to really pick the chosen. You told me 3 weeks ago that Babcock would be in the running for a head coaching job with the Oilers. I don't know if I would believe him.
Story. What was that for? The airplanes are playing soccer again. One of them drink a Red Bull.
Red Bull usually wins. Maybe Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's tough because you have a lot of championship caliber players there. I do think that with Pittsburgh, I can't have them rebuild. I think they did miss the playoffs. I'm not going to put them stuck in control. It doesn't feel like they're stuck in control. And they haven't won around in a long time. Maybe that's where they belong. I can't say they're confident that's over. I guess I can put it close. They're a playoff team, but it doesn't feel like Pittsburgh's building towards a Stanley Cup. And I know the danger of this because you do have some very good players in the Pittsburgh Penguins. They held on to Malkin, but they're clearly of the mind that they can keep themselves in the playoff spot next year. I may regret this a year from now, but for right now, I'm okay with them being close. Florida. Here's the tricky part with them. They missed the playoffs, right? That lends itself to close. But Barkov is a special talent. You know this. They missed Barkov the entire season. I'm going to say the window is still open for Florida. It's tricky. It's tricky because the goaltending situation in Florida right now. The Bronx is not signing extension yet. You don't have to go to the starter there. You know what? I'm going to put Florida here. I'm going to put Florida under its closing because of the ongoing uncertainty. Teams a year older, they missed the playoffs this year. I'm not going to put them under closed because they're getting Barkov back, and Bill Zito might be the best general manager in the NHL. He's out there. And so I'm going to put it under its closing, just based on some of the questions around the roster as is. For Montreal, I'm going to say the window's open. Because remember, this is going into next season. I'm going to say the window's open for them. With the right additions and subtractions to their roster over the offseason, we could be talking about a Montreal team that wins the division next year. We could be talking about a Montreal team that could go further in the playoffs. They went further than a lot of people thought they would. I did talk about them building up to become a contender. I think they've shown that they are, so it would be crazy for me not to put them under whether it's open. Oh, Washington. Feels like Washington, the window's closed at this point. The expectations around what might happen with Ovechkin is still uncertain. A lot of uncertainty there. So I'm going to go Washington at this point in time. But things could change. They can change quickly in Washington. Nashville. Nashville, they're in basically the rebuilding phase. There's a lot of uncertainty. I would love to see Nashville win their first Stanley Cup. I think that would be fun. There are, times where I can bet any on which team that hasn't won Stanley Cups going to win their first. I don't know that one. I think there's only 2 months ago. That's awesome. So I'm going to be doing that one too. But Nashville, to me, the rebuild, it just leaves a lot of uncertainty there. The Kings. Oh, the Kings are stuck in it. Not getting out of the first round year after year after year. Now, still retired. It just feels like the Kings are ridiculous, but they picked up Panarin, so they could very well still be a playoff team next year. But can they win a series? And I think that's a valid question. Minnesota. Yeah. Minnesota's tricky. I can't say the Windows open based on one series, but I will say that the fact that Dylan Larkin at Minnesota is one of the three teams he's willing to go to, I think Minnesota's becoming a destination for players. I think the window's opening, and in the event that they can get Quincy signed to a long-term extension, which they're able to do this summer, we might be talking about Minnesota as one of those contending teams that can win a Stanley Cup, and I would be very happy for Minnesota to win a Stanley Cup. I would. I know there's some people say he doesn't even fight it. I'm very happy for the whole state, and Minnesota won the Stanley Cup. Boston. They're so tough to read. They missed the playoffs last year. They make the playoffs this year, but are they a Stanley Cup contender? The first round would tell you no. So I can't say it's opening because there's some uncertainty too. Arvidsson's probably going to hit the market, so they're going to lose him. So we're some guys who had 3 years in Boston. And you never know from 1 year to the next what you might see with swinging. It was great this year, but it wasn't great last year. It was great next year. Yeah, you want to get something back. I don't know how much about it you feel that it doesn't feel like Boston belongs there. They're not rebuilding. I wouldn't say they're first either.
It looks like he's experiencing a whole lot of pressure right now. But he came in with a game plan and he's sticking to it.
Here's the snap. He throws deep. Touchdown. Oh, and he's over. Savor this moment.
Learn more at GameSense.com.
I'm going to have to put Boston under college. Boston was a contender as recently as 2023 and had that ridiculous record, and then Florida put them on the ground. Thanks to Omar's turnover and overtime in that game 5. That's where it really started, and Florida was being denied. But we're going to Boston under college. It does not feel like they're the contender right now, and they don't feel like they're rebuilding either. That just it feels like it's the only place where I can really put them on this board. Anaheim again. The Ducks, I feel like they'll keep their defense schedule. So while I have another opening, would I be surprised if next season we see a little bit of a drop-off to that style? No, they don't be calling it the playoffs either. Maybe a little bit of a drop-off. I don't hate. But I do really like the young players they have. I think that those style will get the struggles in the playoffs. You got the invaluable experience in the playoffs. So don't put Anaheim next to the Raptors. It's open. Feel like the window to that zone. The Rangers, I mean, they're in the midst of, I think they're rebuilding, whatever they're doing. And so a lot of uncertainty as to what the Rangers are going to be. So I'm going to put them in the same category as Calgary and Nashville. We'll see in the coming days. Colorado. Colorado's window's still open. I know that the way the playoffs ended for Colorado was humiliating. Sometimes that works. Sometimes that's the best thing to happen for a team. But they get absolutely humiliated in the playoffs, and then they go back and they play angry. Tampa did that after the 2019 upset at the hands of the Columbus. Following season, they were just fantastic. So maybe Colorado learns from this. They don't win the President's Trophy and become a better playoff team next season. Columbus belongs in stuck in control. I want to see Columbus make it. I have said for years now, I got that Columbus flag and they made the playoffs all without behind. I don't know if I'm going to set Columbus flag. They just found a way to miss the playoffs this year. They had a playoff spot right there. Denver, Detroit, I got pretty much the same way. Playoff spots right there, and then you watch their games down the stretch, it wouldn't help. So Columbus will be stuck in neutral. Buffalo. I'm going to say for Buffalo it's opening. I'm not going to say the window's necessarily open right now. I know they kind of first to the division, but it is nice to see Buffalo not having a year. Not down here. I don't have them under first. They made the playoffs. They finished first. I can't have them under first teams. That's not what I want. That was always opening to the vulnerable savings. I think we're going to see them reach back in the playoffs next year, and then we'll see what they're on. They're contenders. Chicago, the only reports they tend to be now of mediocre to bad results. So, at some point in time, the fruits of all of the toiling, then the teams that are outside of the playoffs will start to see them get back towards the playoff picture. The Oilers. Those are the Oilers is closing. And this is bad news. This is bad news because obviously they don't want to lose McDavid. They don't want to lose Draisaitl. I mean, I know Draisaitl's contract's just getting started, but if David leaves, could we see Draisaitl somebody like, oh, I'm in my 30s. I want to win a Stanley Cup too, and there's nobody's going to happen to him. So, for Edmonton, it does feel like it's closing at this point in time. They're not good in the first round. They didn't look very good in that first round either. And there's really holes in that lineup. St. Louis. You know, I don't know what St. Louis has close contention. I just feel like St. Louis has enough to be on the players, and they're pretty smartly run. I know the GM's changing. I know Alex Dean's taking over. But he's had a long time watching and learning, and I think he'll be fine on the job. I do feel like St. Louis is building towards some contention here. Whatever they do with Kyrie, whatever they get him playing the way that he should, or they end up moving off from Kyrie and they figure that out. I do think there's enough there to say, yeah, they could be building towards contention. Ottawa. Always tough. I don't know if they're you're fine. You're fine. I want you to take a decent peek. Share the results with the doctor. I'd say it's opening. I'd say the Stanley Cup window is opening. They make the playoffs in back-to-back years. There are some concerns about whatever. You're always going to have that. You're always going to have that with the small market candidates. You're always going to have that. There's always going to be the background. There's always going to be that one. But all of making the playoffs in back-to-back years should help with that. And I do feel like as long as we don't see any major upheaval for the summer, where they're trading off a big name, or they're losing a big name, and not getting anything back. So I still think Ottawa, the window's opening for them. Vancouver might be under first. I would have to put them under first. Now, I say this, though, with optimism that with all the changes that have happened to the Vancouver organization since the season ended, I hope I'm able to take them out of coach next year. I do this again next year, and then I can say they're building towards contention. It could be a very interesting draft lottery milestone. Very interesting. I know there's a lot of Canuck fans that like the Holmstrom, but if they pass on Stenberg, I really feel like that's going to be a miss for Vancouver. For the Canucks, it does feel like there's been a first there. 3-2 to Toronto. Vancouver and Toronto back-to-back. Toronto, I would definitely put them under first. Just the era of Matthews that they've had, and now there's a chance that the Matthews era is wrapping up. And if that era only sees one round as a win, back when the channel started out, and you had Matthews and Toronto, and you had McDavid and Edmonton, the debate that used to go on in the comment section on this channel was, which team's going to win more Stanley Cups, Edmonton or Toronto? And the answer was no. So the good news for the Oilers is they got to 2 Stanley Cup finals. The bad news for the Oilers is they got to 2 Stanley Cup finals and didn't win. But for Toronto, they didn't go anywhere near a Stanley Cup final. They didn't get to the conference final. That has to be considered an absolute failure. Regardless of why or what point the finger at. Toronto I would put under first. Utah is definitely the window's opening for them. Utah management very well built. And this is still a continuation of before the team was relocated to Utah. You could see that there are some of the young players were going to be stars, and now Utah is getting the push those latest. Plus, Utah has the money, they have the leads to really make them a real contending team. I don't know if that ever going to happen in the NFL. I don't know what happens. Seattle, Seattle. I'm going to put my stock in this one. One Stanley Cup playoff appearance, and just overall, yeah, just they're good. They're not great. They're good at times. They're not great. And teams that are good, not great, is the playoffs. And around 500, maybe a little bit above 500, maybe a little bit off, but still kind of stock at neutral. Dallas, oh boy. I would love to, as a Dallas fan, say the windows open. But the Jason Robinson, Jason Robertson, Spider-Man is still out there. I do have concerns about the salary cap situation. The salary cap situation being as it is with Dallas, what the disposal. I know that may seem crazy because there's a lot of good young players there, but I do wonder about the depth going forward with the cap issues they have. And some of that's on good enough. Some of that's on good enough. There's going to be a player who'll be looking at the Ransom trade and say, you know, they got really good player Ransom, no argument. But from a cap perspective, they may impose the team a little bit. So we'll see. Philly. Philly building towards contention. Philly made the playoffs this year. However, it's costing at the end of the year, the cost there. And team default is back there with the playoffs because it's going to be here, Columbus. And so Philadelphia's like, fine, take that playoff spot. They got to lose for the Browns. But a lot of their good young players are exactly that, young players. And so with Martone, especially, Martone's going to be a superstar. They're building towards a contending team, I think, in Philadelphia. Rare kind of looking for something. They're seriously a solid, fantastic move. Bringing in Target and just somebody else to play by the start. Tampa. Can I say close for Tampa? I mean, I know there's going to be like fans say, well, no, it's not close. But here's the thing. Since 2022, when they got the Stanley Cup final and lost against Colorado, this was their third straight Stanley Cup final. We really haven't seen much of anything from Tampa in the playoffs. And I don't think that I can qualify a team that hasn't got out of the first round in a bit as being still in potential for the Stanley Cup. Because at that point, then, fans of the team could say, well, you're out of the first round. You're not saying, you know, all these great things with us. So for Tampa, I feel like the window. Those kind of closed a little bit. Radish, of course, is set to maybe hit the market on July 1st. I'm saying maybe because there's a team that can salvage it and somehow keep the player. It could very well be Tampa. But I do feel like one of those kind of close for Tampa. A lot of those four guys from the Stanley Cup winners in 2020, 2021, and those, it is a young man's league. And while Tampa's a very good regular season team, a regular season, the playoffs roll around and they're not as good. So we saw that again against Montreal. I know Novak was fantastic, but it just felt like Montreal is on the way up and Tampa is not. Which finishes things up with New Jersey. Oh man. I'm going to have to put them stuck in neutral because they missed the playoffs again. But I really like the new GM. I really think Sonny Maddox could get them someplace. But I can't put it into like its opening because they didn't make the playoffs this year. I can't really say going towards contention because they already have a lot of good players on their roster. It's just a matter of figuring out why they had missed the playoffs and what areas to focus on to fix that. So I'm going to put New Jersey as stuck in neutral, but I still get the feeling New Jersey could win a Stanley Cup over the next few years, which is how this started. I started this off with the idea that I would talk about which teams I feel like could win next year, and then 3 years, or 5 years, 10 years. And it was one of those things I looked at and I thought, it's difficult to call that. So I stuck to this format instead. But let me know your thoughts in the comments section below as always. Let me know where I'm wrong. That's always really fun. Yeah, like and subscribe if you've not done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support. It's greatly appreciated. I'll talk to you again.
Oh, and now he just wants to. Oh, okay, this is interesting now. Oh, he was one of your contract.
Uncharted is the EV for City Wildlife.
Fuck, West 15 mil. Yeah, screw that.
Lots of stamina on one charge.
He's not being overpaid like from.
Tonight, I'm on a mission to cook for as many night shift workers as possible because while the city sleeps, they're making sure everything still runs, even if it means putting their lives at risk. As a token of appreciation, I'm asking every single worker I meet tonight what they want to eat. Then I cook them a delicious home-cooked meal and deliver it for them to hopefully enjoy. Let's see how many people I can cook for. We're starting with the 7-Eleven down the street. I hope we find our first night workers there. Hey, how you doing? Well, we're cooking meals for people that work at night. You know, interview? Alright, literally first stop and family. I thought it was going to be all fucking. After the first rejection, we decided to try another 7-Eleven nearby. Is there something I could cook for you? And then you can help? I can need it. And once again, we got rejected. Alright, how do you make? All 33, this is going to be long. We got to take a meeting time a little bit. Well, I spent 40 minutes trying to find the first person, and still no one has agreed. So, hey, I can cook a nice meal for you if you guys still be here. Well, that's our job. That makes me really fun. You want down? I think it's good. So now leaves $500. I went to a place where I knew there would definitely be a night shift worker. Right now we're at CDF now, and we're going to ask them if they want to do anything for me. Hey, how you doing? I'll just ask if you are interested in anything for me tonight. I'll get it home and I'll bring it back. Barbecue. What's barbecue? I didn't eat it all night. I didn't eat it all night. I think it's every morning. So I'll be like, how can you say it feels really skeptical for it?
Respect is not the stench game. That's unfortunate.
I got to and on the way home, we realized that finding people isn't the only problem we have. Because of the hospital, we might need to find it later. I might have just enough ingredients, but that's a little work behind. I didn't realize CVS worker wants to train barbecue, but the grocery stores aren't closed. I'm gonna have to try making something with what I have in the fridge. The first thing we gotta do is cut the meat into larger pieces and cook it in the pan. Then I take the rice. We gotta make a lot of food for a lot of people to make a lot of things. Wash the lettuce leaves and dry them to remove the water. Yeah, you're talking about the best industry of his life.
I want to see how this season goes, man. I bet Will Smith wants Alex. That is really not good, buddy. Still have pizza coming out too, so that's okay, I guess.
Now on the way, I drank some coffee so I would not fall asleep tonight. We arrived back at the CVS and delivered the first meal of the day to the first person. Yeah. And I got to get my ears, you know, come get it. I'll tell you, you know, come up, you have a nice thing of rice, a rice wrap, any problem. One of my favorite things is Polish.
I get waffle syrup too, actually, like my cards right.
That's not the espresso concentrate.
Can't believe you talk to us, fucking read. That's so fucking retarded. Yeah, you try sneaky fuckers.
I'm still curious about the motive. I've been in the poly out there. It's my first company that when I stepped into the US. I've been with
They signed it already, too. First, they fucking good. You got to steal rapper from you. Yeah, you gotta steal that from you, fuckers. Oh, I just need you fit.
It was. I want to do it all. You know, thank you, man. Thank you. I got to take a chance for you. Oh, I'm going to take it out. I'm going to do all this. I'm going to get back to time. And we talked out, lots of cops. And I'll say, So basically, now we walk up to them. Okay, I approach the police very carefully. Because they might think something is wrong and I could get in some big trouble. And I'll say, yeah, I know the CX sounds really weird, but I'm a YouTuber and I'm cooking for people that work night shifts. I can't really do that. Is it okay if I just come up to you? I just dropped off a new for a nice man working in there. I actually wanted to find a cop tonight because we're going to be out till sunrise. So if there's anything you guys are for me, I'm going to drop off and then go for you. You guys might not be here by the time I get there. Hold off here. Okay. What do you think they would like? But it's supposed to go to the station and drop off to the reception lady who works night shifts. Her name's Margaret. There's almost a night pocket. Now I got a little bit stuck checking what ingredients I had because all the stores were closed. But I was talk to the video, got everything in this fridge, and we were just thinking to the looking for a second customer. Alright, before we do, I almost forgot. I gotta cook my dog. Thanks for a spot for the farmer's dog. You got my dog, no coverage. Right? I took my dog to the farmer's dog because I know that she was becoming a bit of a picky eater, and I want to be more mindful of what was going on. Traditional kibble is ultra-processed food, and the farmer's dog is fresh and generally touched to help change those defensive instincts. It's a real food, so you can actually see the intention right there. What I love most is the food combined. The food is really great, and making food facilities within very see. You can actually kind of change out all the different meal kits that you can get. Plus, the recipes meet AAFCO nutritional standards, so I know Lily is getting a complete and balanced meal that was developed to help with board-certified veterinary nutrition. The plans are personalized for specific age and weight. The packs come pre-portioned, so there's no guesswork. It's just poured and served. Ever since switching, her energy levels have been off. Really? Fair? Good girl. You ready to eat? So if you guys have a dog too, if you want to try the Farmer's Dog French dog food, check out the link in the description below or scan the QR code on the screen to get 60% off your first order as well as a free shipping. I found everything I needed and chopped the vegetables into small pieces. I used my hands to split the ground meat a little bit faster because we did not have much time. I put the pasta off the board. I started cooking the vegetables, added some broth, added the meat, and the pasta, and then everything together. So you're preparing enough to feed a couple off. Now we're moving to the food station. Well, time for you. Now it's time to all the food, frozen and tasted. Fortunately, it was really far away to be in line. It's about 2.5 hours. I'm getting really high. The 7.5 is about 2.5 hours. I'm not going to get to it. And after 20 minutes, we arrived at the police station. I'm honestly a little nervous. I'm probably wondering who we are and what we're about to do. Now, when we entered, the doors were closed. For us to get in, the receptionist had to let us in. But I'm not going. No one opened the door. Apparently, we looked suspicious with this box. Alright, so I thought it was all. We lost a whole hour, and I was already about to leave, but I decided to try calling one more time. A police officer named Rachel told us that you like talking. We're incredibly happy that we finally made it to the center. Margaret, I think it's how long have you been working in this? Where is it? Press the top. Oh, yeah. This is bolognese. Something going there. You want to put it? Yeah. You get one, hey? Thanks to all the police officers for their work. Okay, we have successfully delivered our second meal. The only problem is it's already 3 a.m. We need to get at least 4 more deliveries before sunrise, or I'm down $500. Then what's happening? We rush to the next place. Alright, so there's the third. Maybe no one can work in drive-through in the second. Many people underestimate fast food workers on the night shifts, even though thanks to them, people come home late from work or truck drivers can quickly get tasty food late at night while their places are closed. So we went to the nearest drive-through, which turned out to be Burger King, and it took us a solid 20 minutes. I was a worker who sold it to the meal. Okay, I can order it. What's the cheapest thing on the menu? Can I get one crispy wrap? Okay. And after placing our order, we immediately presented our proposal to the employees. If there's something you want to do right now, probably some tacos. If I bring tacos in like an hour, I just done it have tacos. Yeah, I'm gonna be able to come back. A new problem has appeared on our way. We only have 45 minutes to deliver the food to Nelson, so we're heading home at full speed to make the tacos. Yo, we have no time, bro. Please, ground beef, avocado here. I want some. Alright, let's go. We're gonna get out of here by 3:40. To start, we throw the meat onto the frying pan and sprinkle it with spices. While the meat is frying, we can chop the remaining ingredients: onion, lettuce, some potatoes, parsley, avocado. Add cheese to the meat and cover it with a tortilla. Here in the pan. After a couple of minutes, we can start assembling the tacos. We place all our ingredients onto the tortilla.
Saturdays on free. Concept. They also manifest that there's a deal with the especially Nice page. What do you call it? The unsigned book. Yeah, that's good. That's interesting. Alright. Yeah, you can leave the Day 337 the planet. It's a trouble here. I have never known not to be. Sit up and it's all fine. One come back to go. Carry the I am an medical hospital. That's the German for hospital. That's the big deal. Into your hospitals. Go on the third floor. This is the under the site. It's a going on that social affair. Social and it's one day. And you want to get any comfortable with plan microphone into your room. What's next? And what's that? How many bathrooms? 2. Some of them, 30. How about the other? And then there's 5 and 6 women fire involved in smoking area. Contact the point with ones of random years. This is the body. It's pretty. Cities of 500 years. The United States, and how from the family, how did I started online? Because so it's taking the fabric and done. Zero and it breaks up. How I make it's recommended anything for the end of tonight. Something pretty bold. Yes, yes. But the very next one. How to have extra groups to go out and just play. This one. Was about the finance. You will not show. I'm sure that where would you like to have it said? Welcome to my house reservation. Yes. Thank you. Excellent. This was great. I'm going to enjoy it. Are you ready to get to it? That was the thing. So excellent. It's had to tell me other things. Like 40 years ago when the leader said, enjoy your meal. And you said, you too. All right, boys. So let's set up the game of life. Definitely. What about you, John? I guess I'm trying to protect my mom. I just thought having a fun time. Sounds good. Let's get straight into it then. Joe, the blue fellow. Donald will be the yellow orange looking color. I will be the brown color, and George will be the red color. Are you guys ready? Of course I'm ready for rock. I need to win. This will stop me from winning, Donald. Let's do this. I'm ready. I'm curious to see how this goes. This definitely be interesting. I've never played this game with 4 people. It doesn't matter how many people are playing for rock. The great ones will win regardless of that. I don't know exactly what the feeling feels, but I'm going to do my best. Well, to begin with, we got to see who goes first. Yeah, I'm not really sure if there's any advantage of going first, but who knows? Well, going first is all about setting the tone for the game. I definitely believe that there are advantages of going first in the sport. The go-to person in this game is going first. Let's do this, boy. Okay, let's see what you do this time. Wow, you're actually going to good college this time, Donald? Is it because you got wrecked last time that you finally learned how to go about this game? Well, obviously, last game was a learning experience, that's for sure. Clearly, this game doesn't care for how I want to live my life. Okay, you're finally making sense. Question is, what are you picking here? I gotta go with the slam dunk contest. I'm trying to make sure you don't lose Joe, so I'm targeting you. Are you serious right now? I thought you were trying to win. You're just trying to make them lose. Let's go. There's no way that you're getting a 10 here. You're already in a sticky situation, Joe. You lost 100,000 here. You're going to have to pay 100,000 to go to college. You better hope you don't take out a loan. If you're like me, and you just live a simple life, then none of this would happen to you, Joe. Okay, I've heard enough from everyone. So, Rock, let's see what you do here. Yeah, I think it's a pretty standard thing to go to the college group, so I will once again pursue that. Just because it's standard, it doesn't mean you'll win. Trust me, George, I didn't pursue college at all last time. I ended up getting hooked. I don't want you thinking that you could do the same thing and somehow win. Can't believe I'm actually saying this, but listen to Donald. He's right for one. I guess I have to prove everyone wrong here then. Okay, well, don't blame us if you end up getting last place, George. We're trying to look out for you. Yeah, for real. That's what you said. Hopefully I get good down. Don't worry, Barack. You will. There you have it. Chef Phil Johnson. I'm a great chef. It pays more than I can truly say. Let me cook for you. Don't burn the place down while you're cooking. Of course, you got your $50,000 bonus on your first spin. I'm just